Hey everyone, welcome to the Clips channel. Did you know this isn't our main channel? Yeah, you should subscribe over and find our main videos and our streams as well. We also have a podcast that you can find wherever podcasts can be found, so explore the internet. See you there. So, play the next sound because we got good news.
Yeah, we do. Let's talk about Final Fantasy. It's time for What's Your Final Fantasy, Kyle. What's your fantasy say? Dawntrail, the next expansion for the critically acclaimed MMO Final Fantasy XIV, officially has a release date, everybody. It has a release date.
And it's 1 week later because of Elden Ring.
Yep.
It's such a it's so cute. It's such an organic awareness that I respond to naturally.
It is the language that has really helped Final Fantasy XIV go the extra mile with their communication to their player base. That I don't know. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. A lot of the 14 devs are seen as in touch people that actually play games. And then they back it up with like little gags like this that you believe more than if some other developer did it, because it doesn't, I don't know. There's something about it.
It's 100%
it feels
true.
There's an authenticity to it.
Well, and when it was time to, sell you on Final Fantasy XIV, I presented you with Yoshi P as like one of my final arguments. There was a lot of like, it's good, you should try it. I'm doing these dungeons. I could tank for you because I'm a tank right now. You just get in, whatever. Listen, you got to check out this guy Yoshi P.
You straight up said, "Don't you miss the Chris Metzen era of Warcraft?" And I was like, shit, that's hard to argue against.
Don't you like Walt Disney characters? Now, of course, this is all coming off the back of Blizzard and hero worship failures and lots of fears in that department, but still responded to the man strongly. But I'm going to reveal the secret right now. I thought Yoshi P was cool, Garrett. But what really sold me is when they were in a live letter and they were describing mod use. And they said, if you own pornography, you can have that on your computer. You can print it out and hang it in your home. But don't walk around the street and show it to people. That's illegal. So stop posting images of your modded screenshots. That's all I'm asking you. And the devs did that during a live letter. They said these words. I'm paraphrasing, of course. Also, I can't translate Japanese organically. I went off of subtitles, so I'm doing my best. In memory, not able to say exactly what they did. But that's the way, I believe it was Koji Fox described it. And I was like, oh my, they know when I go look up their video game to see what the quest has me do, that there are banner ads where some feet are in the air over the lady and the mouth is eating the heart off my Twitter website. Like,
the hell are you talking about?
Banner ads. They're hideous. They're absolutely horrifying. That weird lady on Twitter that eats the heroes so they lose levels, and then you go over to your...
Okay, we need to have a conversation about overly specific anecdotes.
And then you go over to the banner ads, and it's like, you won't believe how thirsty this game is. Yeah, I don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're aware that pornography exists on the internet, and so were they. And that was a nice organic moment. I said I was going to tell the truth here.
Okay, you know how a couple minutes ago,
yes,
I apologized for getting heated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna tie into that a bit. I never feel like even when the developers of this game are asking me to not do a thing or calling me out on the thing that I'm doing, I never feel like they're trying to own me. And that's why I apologize for getting heated earlier. Because when I say things like, you know what 14 didn't do? They didn't tweet about something for 4 effing years. They actually put out a product. That's got that like ownage energy that I just hate. I don't like that kind of energy. I'm guilty of going there when I get fed up with something, but I just don't like it. There's so much of it on the internet these days, and I just get very exhausted by it. And I have never once got like an inkling of that from the 14 development team, or at least I never got an inkling from it from any of their communication that they put out into the world. And I really enjoy that. And it makes me not want to do it in return. Like, I don't want to, like, even if I don't like something, it makes me want to like take the time to like think about what I actually want to say and try and put it forward in an intelligent way, try and put it forward in a respectful way, because I feel respected in return. And I really like that. They're down to earth. I don't feel like they're trying to make a statement. They are trying to make me laugh, which I also appreciate, but I don't think they're like trying to like be like, we won, and throw up their arms in victory.
Yeah, we're talking about an entire team, marketing, producing level, all of it made this decision to avoid Elden Ring DLC. I mean, it's a DLC. Like, one of the game that when you beat the first boss, it says achievement, 43% of players have done this. That's what? But it's true. Like,
do you know how many hours of content there are without doing that?
Yeah, it's
like just clearing out that first zone,
and it's a huge game. And you sent me your video footage of you beating the first boss, and you were like, "Look at this," and I knew that meant a ton to you, and that was awesome. And that's so cool that so many people got in the ground floor on. Now I'm just going off on how much we love FromSoft in this household, so I'll stop. But still, it just, even acknowledging what is now one of the biggest games in the world, was previously to me a very small, what am I about to accidentally buy at GameStop in 2011, Demon Souls kind of universe. It's awesome that awareness of video games has risen to this level, and we are acknowledging with an MMO that so often is just like, we are Juggernaut Corporation. Brr, brr, just get out of the way. Maybe we'd like to play other things.
Yeah, I don't want to put too much focus on this, but it to me is like someone who enjoys dissecting the marketing efforts of any business. It's a very good case study. It's a very good case study. I don't want it to come off like hero worship. Like, it's freaking fascinating comparing it to how a lot of other studios choose to communicate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. You have a simpler example that I'm surprised you didn't go for, which is, I know we both love it when they just like hold up a sheet of printer paper with something on it during the live letter. Like, oh, this is coming. Look at this. And they just hold up a sheet of paper. You're like, oh, this makes me feel so much better when I think something should be a little higher effort in something that I make.
Well, like, to me, it's after years spinning the thing. The model's spinning, and you're like, this is real. This is a 100. This is a fact. It says in development in the corner, but oh, that's a lie. Look at that thing spin. That's coming in the game tomorrow. You hold up a piece of paper, and my brain goes, yeah, that's in development. You adorable team. You go for it. You bring those dreams to life. And it, to me, from the D&D world that I grew up in, it emotionally resonates with me because I'm like, oh my God, dreams can become reality. Someone's drawing does enter a video game. It's all real. Oh, the ship of dreams. I love it.
I love this release date.
It's a nice release date.
For entirely selfish reasons.
Well, yes. Yeah, it does give us, a good amount of time to play the video game.
Yeah. Yeah, I still have no idea what our stream schedule looks like once we catch up. But can we talk about it a little bit?
What would you possibly talk about?
Can we pull the curtain back to a conversation we had like 3 hours ago?
This is a news show. You would bring us into it? How dare you?
It's a news show done by us.
Okay. Oh, okay. Fair point.
We brought ourselves into every other conversation we had.
We talked about so much. What are you possibly going to tease/reveal? I'm scared.
I think we had a realization because we have talked many times about how much time should we give before we start playing Dawntrail? And we had thought today that was like, well, wait a minute. We take a really long time to get through the main story. Do we even really need to wait? Do we even really need to wait? Like, if we kind of go a zone by a time, y'all will probably be past the first zone in the first day. If we wait till Thursday to rip it, and then we're like taking a week to make a video.
I mean, that gets in, like, in content creation, there's so many options before us how to treat this. And you and I, you can't, maybe they hate us because you can't put us in a nice little box and say, those are hardcore raiders, give them the raid content. And you over there, story only person, this is for you. But here at Grinding Gear, we love all of it. And I personally love jumping between all of them. And I'm kind of I don't eat my dessert first, but I'd never eat my dessert in the middle of my meal. So this isn't working at all. I don't have at just my steak and then my veggies. I do a little bit of this and then, you know, like I'm stirring the whole Thanksgiving together by the end of the night.
One of my favorite pieces of junk food is the KFC Famous Bowl.
You just give it a big stir, right? You just like...
Because that's what that is, man. It's the best part of Thanksgiving. It's when you've broken your turkey down enough that you can just integrate it into the mash.
Yes. Or taco night. That is also... I love when like you've got like your 4 tacos in and your plate is just this taco salad, but it was organic and doesn't suck. And you just like all the little like bits of like sour cream that had fallen down onto the meat that fell out the back with a bit of... And you're just like,
yeah.
Free taco salad.
I'm seeing a lot of people in chat are like, you're forgetting patch. We are not forgetting patch content. We are very aware there's still patch content.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We may not be caught up. You're right. We may not be. But if we are, I'm leaning towards why I artificially wait. I don't see any universe where we start during the early access period because that would be too limited for too many people in terms of story spoilers.
I mean, that's where I get a little like, early. Mr. Business got a business, don't you?
I know I like went off on microtransactions not that long ago, but this is one I'm just like, I think I can live with it if it makes games a little more profitable. But this one is not even buy the expensive one, right? This is just if you pre-order period, you get early access, I believe.
Well, and then on the flip side, I'm like, oh shit, we're getting an earring, right? Oh, that ear, I can use that for my roll quest. I'm going to pre-order whenever is that pre-order up right now? I need to pre-order right now because I'm working on roll quest. I need that earring for bonus XP. So we all have priorities when it comes to the box copies.
I mean, I do want that earring. Yeah. I'm intensely not a pre-order guy, but I'm definitely going to be trying to get that collector's edition tomorrow. This is my first expansion I'm going to be current for. I want that statue.
Well, hey. Hang on. I'm catching up to my own brain here because I'm choosing my analogy. I'm trying to choose which one because there are many I wish to make. Listen, you text friends different things, different invites. Some people you invite 2 weeks early. Some people you invite day of. I like to say for drama's sake that my last pre-order was Warcraft 3 Reforged, and I will never pre-order again. But that's not true, because my last pre-order was Final Fantasy 16, and I was perfectly pleased with that package.
That was actually my last pre-order as well.
Yeah. So different strokes for different folks, or I guess you're giving the strokes in this case, but you know what I mean. I
did it for extremely particular reasons. I wanted a physical copy. I don't know why. And I didn't want to have to think to put the order in at Best Buy so they'd be ready for me to go pick it up the day of. So I pre-ordered it because I knew they would just pull it on release day and have it waiting up front for me.
And then I already played the demo and the trust was there. And in particular, like, if anyone makes a video of like, could Final Fantasy get away with X? You're like, well, kind of yes, because it's a currency, trust. And you can spend it sometimes. And certainly you spend it when you do, like, to me, a early access thing. I'm like, ew, gross. But also, I absolutely understand the business decision of, I want you to pre-order. I want to know how many people are getting in the park this day. And I need to incentivize. What can I give? Well, we're going to give a minion. Sure. Are we going to get a mount? Who knows? An earring. Oh, that'll sell some people. What else can we give? And when you're asking for that money up front, I do think pre-order access is and what, it's 3 days early. It's Friday instead of Tuesday. And there's a weekend there, so that's kind of gross. But also like, I don't care too much. And I think that this is a perfectly civil use of trying to get some early pre-orders because the trust expenditure exists.
Yeah, and as we mentioned earlier, like everyone's pain point for any sort of monetary ask in video games, everyone's different. Everybody's different. I think as long as I'm playing Helldivers, I'm just gonna keep buying whatever new track they add because I love how they do it. There's no FOMO. I got all the time in the world to unlock all the shit in the not battle pass that they offer. Still don't even know what to call the damn thing. The war bond progression. It looks like a battle pass. It feels like a battle pass, but it just doesn't suck like a battle pass. But normally, like, I don't always love those kind of things. But there's also been other games where I loved battle passes because I was really into them at the time and I felt like I got my value out of them. Everyone's tolerance is different. But yeah, I do look at this in the grand scheme of things and go, yeah, I think this is really low pain. Like, and Chat's you get a perk just for pre-ordering even the normal
right and Chat's bringing that, and I don't think we should elevate heroes based on the villains being worse than this, but it happened recently a lot, and I think it was last year in particular. I felt like around every corner was the did you pay extra to be in here early, in addition to server issues on the people who were in there early. Let's not name any names, and that was wrong. And you paid extra to test the servers. That's weird.
But here, if you don't pay extra, but you're just securing that sale earlier,
and I'm getting a ring,
it's less of a feel bad.
That's worse. That's my price of admission, right? Like I get a ring out of this deal, and they have more than enough trust to spend here.
Yeah. I dig it.
Hell yeah.
I dig it. Other than that, I haven't dug too deep because a couple of people were like, there's a couple things maybe you don't want to see yet. Like, okay. We haven't had a chance to sit down with our mods and get a spoiler-free version of this, but...
Yeah, we did get like a list of the predicted based on old trends what would be coming out. Like 7.1 might be in early mid-November and stuff like that. Like planning stuff. But beyond that, I'm excited for a particular amount of things, and that very particular thing I will avoid saying because I know a lot of people are avoiding everything they know about this, but Dawntrail's content, to me, seems to ride what they're passionate about, and I think the team has been very good about just doing what they want to do and having a quick enough turnaround in what they create that it felt organic, that it was fun, joyous. And you could and sometimes you feel like just those fingers and all the pies, they weren't there to begin with. It just took too long. So people got bored of the idea along the way. And that's when the questions arose. Is this fun? Do I like this? Should we add this? Maybe we can add this. What's this about? And it just was in development hell for so long that the creators themselves got bored. I do this with my D&D ventures. Like I'll write something. I'm like, oh yeah, I love this. And then my game gets delayed 2 weeks with my friends. And I'm like, well, now that I've sat on this for 2 weeks, I'm bored out of my mind by this concept. I'm going to start something new. Actually, scrap this. I'm overthinking it.
That's it?
What?
Is it just that's the end of that journey?
You have a finite window to create something and have it be a passionate project. Otherwise, it's laborious.
Nah, I feel that. That's a good point. That's a good point. Do you think you're going to be able to get through the Elden Ring DLC in time? Is my next personal question to you.
I was toying with the idea.
You have 1 week, Kyle.
Presenting Kristen with the Yoshi P challenge. 1 week to beat the DLC. And we'll see.
It's a shame that it doesn't fall in the week that I usually go to the keys.
Currently, I am.
It's close.
No, I'm playing Elden Ring right now. I got massively sidetracked by. I keep wanting to say Octopath Traveler because it's also kind of a bogus name. Unicorn Overlord.
Oh, Unicorn Overlord.
But yeah, that I'm fighting the wizard in the school the first time you fight her. And I don't have enough health to beat her because I just get one shot by her tactics, and Kristen laughs every time. So I'm not.
Do you need to go grind?
I'm not going to be Elden Ring ready by then. No, not with all I have to do. Kristen's beating it, her mimic tier and all that, all the way to the end, fully upgraded, craziness. So I'm excited to see her go through it, but I will not be ready.
Well, this is it's real now, man. It's real, and I would say like. For us personally, it's like almost perfect. I would maybe have been down with like a little more time personally, but if we want to make it a goal, I think we can hit that goal. I think you and I are kind of soul searching right now. That if like, is it right for us? Do we want to try and make sure that we're current?
I think it looks beautiful. I tend to in the dead of summers not be just as like emotionally involved in grinding, if you will, because like I'm like, oh, my office is hot. Maybe it won't be here because I actually have AC now that I live in a place where AC exists.
It should exist everywhere. I don't know what's wrong with you West Coasters.
Oregon lies. It's got pictures of evergreens all over their decals and stuff, but that is a straight up desert valley, Portland. You're confused. You are a desert valley, and you need AC, damn it.
I had a lovely breeze when I lived in LA, and it didn't matter. I still needed AC.
Exactly. So, maybe this summer I can turn on this fine AC I now have, and I will be into MMOs grinding. But oftentimes in MMO summer, I'm like, oh, I don't know. But that just means like, we're going to be in like 7.1 come like the cozy season, right? And at Christmas. And just, that's going to be so perfect.
Does sound nice, right?
Yeah.
Also, don't worry. There's diminishing returns on being outside in Florida. It's called being sunburnt.
Yeah, you don't even want to in a sense. So yeah.
Yeah, you'll eventually have to go inside for your health. Perfect. So for your health, Kyle, you're gonna have to play some video games. It's for your health. Bring it. I don't know. There's so many thoughts, man. There's such a like a background concern from some folks about fall off after MSQ, and I'm just like, my whole life, every other piece of gaming content I've ever done has been like quote unquote current in a live service game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being quote unquote current.
I don't like, and obviously we've spent a lot of time talking about this offline, but I don't think we're alone in this. Like, if you push the content creator aside, a lot of people are going to be current for the very first time. Endwalker had login issues for a very real reason. It's because I was playing A Realm Reborn while you were trying to get in. I was ruining your queues playing freaking Heavensward pre-content.
Yeah.
So this is going to be everybody's first. The news cycle is going to be absolutely savage. This will be so many people's first foray into reviewing a Final Fantasy XIV game currently. We had a lot of articles that were like, should you pick up Final Fantasy? Now we're going to see what they think of this from the get-go. It's going to be absolutely wild. And I bet you those numbers are going to be incredible.
Yeah. It's right, because folks were still getting on board for Endwalker. So, and not to mention, I expect, I don't expect server situation to be perfect, but I expect it to be way better than Endwalker.
Well, and how much
it's not the height of the pandemic with massive supply chain issues.
And we saw them over the last few years work on those issues. They're aware of what an uptick will look like. They're testing new stuff right now, as we speak for servers. So yeah, I'm super excited. And also, to everyone in my Twitter mentions championing us for Media Tour access, thank you so much. I still have never heard from anyone from Square in an official capacity. Don't know who to contact. So that, to me, is a helpful thing. Please, if you want us to be on the Media Tour, let folks at the Final Fantasy XIV North American team know. A lot of you have already. I saw a surprising amount of mentions over the weekend. That's how I even knew PAX East was happening. I was like, oh shit, there's been announcements. So just thank you. It warms my heart. It's very kind of you all. I have one last thing to say about early access that is of my opinion. When people get in the park early at Disney, they're still allowed to go the rides they already rode. It doesn't work that way with early access. So that's nice.